something inside of me told me this was leading somewhere. And that if I kept going, then that somewhere would emerge. And when you go through the level of ridicule that I did in the early mid-90s, one of two things happens. Either it destroys you and you withdraw from the world, or you let go of the prison that most people live in, which is the fear of what other people think. Most people are not living their lives. They're not living who they are. They're living what they think others think they should be. And therefore, they're living a lie. They're living someone else's version of them. What happened to me as a result of that massive ridicule is that I let go of the fear of what other people thought. And when you do that, it's indescribable what that does, because no more mental gymnastics before you open your mouth. What do I say here? What I did was let go of that fear of what other people thought of me, and the freedom is indescribable. Because, like I say, you don't have the mental gymnastics. How do I put this so they won't think I'm crazy? What do I leave out so they won't think I'm crazy? You reach this point where this is me, and I don't give a damn if you think I'm crazy. So,
how did you do that?
Well, it's letting go of the fear of what other people think. You know, I mean, if you ask people to write down, say, their top 5 fears, all over the world, invariably, the vast majority would include speaking in public, right? Mm. What is the fear of speaking in public? It's the fear of what other people think.
Ridicule, shame.
Yeah, it's the fear of what other people think. Mm. So when you stand on a stage, if you fear what other people think, you can be nervous because the power dynamic is with the audience, because they are going to decide if you feel secure or not. So you're scanning the audience as you're speaking, and you're looking for reaction. What do they think of it? That power is there. Mm. Once you let go of the fear of what other people think, you can speak to 100 people or 1 million people. It doesn't matter, because the dynamic has changed. The dynamic now says, this is my truth, and I respect your right to make of it what you will and come to your own conclusion. But this is my truth. And your reaction is not going to affect my truth. So however you react to what I'm saying, whether you like it, whether you laugh at it, or whether you condemn it, it doesn't matter to me, because it's my truth and I have a right to speak it. My truth and my security is not dependent on other people's reaction to me. That's I completely respect their right to respond as they choose. But I have a right too not to be affected by it. And so in that way, you can get ridiculed in the street, and it don't really affect you. You just shake your head and walk on. And sometimes it's an interesting experience, really. Sometimes.
Do you have a bite?
Well, very rarely I have long ago. But one of the things I have done, when people have been laughing at me, the bloke, I've stopped, and I've started laughing at them and pointing at them. If I've got someone with me, oh, look, you want to see the absolute anger on their faces and the indignation, and you think, hold on a minute, I'm just mirroring you back at you. You know, and that's an interesting point about, human interaction. When we say something about someone or do something about someone, we think that that's making a statement about the someone. It's not. Every time it's making a statement about us by what we are, by what we say and what we do. But people don't see that. And this is why people don't see so often that they are mirrors of that they rail against. You know, if you take this progressive mentality, like I say, I'm not talking about a liberal mentality. I'm a liberal. If you look at the definition of the dictionary definition of liberal, it is someone who believes in maximum freedom of speech, maximum freedom of lifestyle, maximum freedom of everything. But a progressive mentality, which they actually call liberal, it's stunning, believes in the opposite of that. So you have people who rail against the system, who think they are anti-establishment, who are actually doing exactly what the establishment wants, which is to silence the population. When you've got the progressive anti-establishment mentality saying to government, he must be silenced, she must be silenced, and the government and the corporate world and the establishment are going, yes, we would be delighted to do that. and so it's this mirror, this inversion where people perceive themselves in a certain way, but actually act in a way that's the very same as that they rail against. So they'll talk about fascists. We're anti-fascists. All right, you're anti-fascist, right? So what do you want to do? We want to silence these people. That's what fascists do. You know, they can't see it. That's the problem.
I've gone through this struggle in my life, David, a little bit, where when I was young, I was very overweight, and I didn't really feel like I fit in, and I was a bit slow on being liked, and that seemed to build a bit of a need in me to be liked, which I started overcompensating for, you know, as I grew up.
I understand that.
And I think it's only been the last few years I've really started to go, you know, this is me, this is who I am. And sort of, I still think it's there, but I think it's like, I'm managing it better. I have found, like you visibly lifted when you said it. It was like, when you said it's liberating and freeing, it was like you exercised something from your, and I just know how amazingly more impactful and happy and confident people would be if they stopped worrying about what everyone thought about them. And I really want to dig in this, because I don't know if you were able to do it through some introspection, or I don't know if almost you were forced to do it because it was, like you said, hide away and, you know, I don't exist in the world because they've beaten me, or one day you thought, this is enough is enough. So what could you say to other people who are a bit overly worried about what people think to help them get rid of it?
Well, first of all, if you have people around you who so disrespect your right to be you that they give you a hard time for being you, then what are you doing with them? You know, there's loads of other people out there that will respect you. Go and find them. Don't surround yourself with people that don't respect your right to be you. I don't care if they're family, I don't care who they are. If they don't respect your right to be you, then what you're doing, interacting with them all the time, it's just going to make you depressed. It's going to make you frustrated. Walk away. And if they then come round, great. But if they don't, well, equally great. You know, it's like kids. I see this thing with parents. You know, I've spoken to people in their 60s who are still feeling guilty for not doing with their lives what their parents wanted them to do. Oh, you know, I wanted to go walking in India, but my mother wanted me to be a lawyer. I don't like the law, but, you know, I had to do it. Oh, no, you didn't have to do it. You know, if your mother wants to be a lawyer, she could go and be a bloody lawyer. If you want to walk in India, go and walk in India. And if your mother, I don't care, all these stuff, oh, but she's, I don't care. You will only express your true, unique self if you refuse to let anyone impact and suppress that expression of your true, unique self. And the number of people, the number of parents who, and I think this is child abuse, frankly, who want to live their lives through their through their children, who want to get kudos through their children. You know, I was in America once, and I saw this this sticker at the back of a car. My daughter won this so-and-so a degree in college. And I'm thinking, yeah, your bloody daughter did it, mate. You didn't bloody do it. What are you doing? Trying to get, you know, live through your children. Congratulate your children, yeah, but looking for the kudos? Oh, yeah, my son's going to Oxford. My daughter's going to Cambridge. Oh, really? You are a successful family. Her son wants to go walking in India, you know. Her daughter wants to be a nurse. But they go to university because mother says so, father says so. The number of people, I mean, it's not even rare. The number of parents, particularly the ones with more money, therefore more influence and access to these educational institutions, the number of them that impose their will on their children because it suits them and not their children is absolutely disgusting. And what it's doing, it's turning out very frustrated, very distorted people who are living a life they don't want to live. And I'll say this to people: are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Do you get up in the morning and say, new day? If not, why not? Make a list. Why am I not happy? Why don't I have joy in my life? Why don't I wake up in the morning and say, yeah, new day? What are the things that make me not feel like that? What are the things that would make me feel like that? Okay, stop doing them and do them. And refuse to compromise on stop doing them and doing them. Take control of your life.